the weird canceled 2009 Superman Returns sequel. Guys, I'm real excited. I've watched other scripts and stuff before of different canceled Superman movies. I've never really seen much about the Superman Returns one, so I am curious to where they were going to go with it, especially considering the fact that he had, spoiler alert, a super kid.
In 2006, Superman came back to the big screen after almost
Yes,
20
he
years
did.
of being
And
absent.
it was a big
Superman
deal,
Returns
guys.
released to moderate success, so the studio planned for a sequel set in 2009.
Yep.
Yet we never saw Bryan Singer's Superman again. So today we delve deep into what happened to the canceled 2009 Superman film.
I'm excited, guys. I really do want to dive into this.
So it's safe to say that Superman Returns may not have been everybody's favorite Superman film, but it's the main reason why Man of Steel became what it is today. In fact, the canceled Superman
I guess because they canceled it. Is that what it means?
Returns sequel was
Man of Steel definitely has a bigger legacy than Superman Returns, that's for sure.
titled Man of Steel. Just like Superman Returns, Bryan Singer was meant to direct this one. Of course, he's known for directing most of the X-Men movies, for better or for worse. Turns out there's actually a leaked synopsis of the Superman Returns sequel. Unfortunately, there's no script, so it's hard to go into detail, but we'll work with what we got.
I thought there was a script online. Is there not? Let me know in the comments. If you have a link to that script, let me know, because I always thought that there was a script for it. I just never wanted to read it, you know?
Before we hear about this movie's crazy story, we need to understand the reasons why the sequel was canceled in the first place.
Okay.
Why Bryan Singer believes it failed.
Yeah. I want to know what Bryan Singer said. I've probably seen this before, but I liked the movie, but the whole him having a kid that he never even raised thing, it was just weird. Superman leaving everybody, including Lois, after just having, gotten very close to her for 5 years because of a plan. Couldn't he have sent a probe instead of gone himself?
When Bryan Singer talked about Superman Returns, he genuinely sounds regretful with how it turned out. No wonder he wanted to just reboot the thing after Superman Returns' reception. But one thing keeps on coming up when people talk about the sequel. It's this comment from Bryan Singer. When interviewed by Empire in 2011 about Superman Returns' failure, he had this to say. It was a movie made for a certain kind of audience, perhaps more of a female audience. It wasn't what it needed to be, I guess.
Oh, okay. I'll bet he's saying that in reference to the fact that a lot of people wanted to see Superman punch somebody in the face. That was even a question that was asked of Zack Snyder at, I think, San Diego Comic-Con before we knew what Man of Steel was. They were like, are we finally going to get to see Superman punch somebody in the face? And I think he left it hanging. But yeah, that was something that disappointed a lot of people. Me, not so much. I don't need Superman to punch people. I really don't. And I know, I've said 1 billion times, it doesn't bother me that Superman killed Zod in Man of Steel. It doesn't bother me. But I don't need him to punch people, because the idea behind Superman is that we already know Superman can stop any threat. We know that about him, okay? As a big Golden Age guy. I know that when I'm reading those old Golden Age comics, which I love. But the idea is, can he figure out who to stop in time before it's too late? That's the cool part about the Superman comics, especially in the Golden Age. He and Lois investigate on something until he has to break off by himself, because you realize this is it. This is the moment. This is when Superman has to get it, and it's really cool and fun. But everybody avoids that principle when they make these movies, and I don't understand it.
Singer has said multiple times that he wanted Superman Returns to bring in a female audience that other comic book movies never brought in at the time, which is an odd reason to blame the movie's failure for.
Probably because he purposefully did that, thinking that that was what was missing, not realizing that it was fighting.
Maybe his reason was the big part as to why we never got a female-led superhero film until Wonder Woman. After this, Bryan Singer went on to state the other problems he saw with Superman Returns. I think I could lop the first quarter off and start the movie a bit more aggressively, and maybe find a way to start the movie with a jet disaster sequence or something. I could have grabbed the audience a little more quickly. I don't know what would have helped. Probably nothing. The box office failure. Superman Returns ended up...
Guys, that plane scene, though, that he's talking about, he should have started the movie with, to this day, the best Superman scene of all time. No movie, no Henry Cavill, Christopher Reeve, David Cornsweet, nothing beats that scene yet. Not only does it look fantastic, and I don't understand how, okay, but it looks extremely realistic. But you see the heart of Superman in it. You see how the people feel about Superman in it. There's so much hope in it. It is amazing. Very well done. When he did that scene, he knew what he was doing with that one scene.
Making over $391 million in the end, which doesn't sound bad, but you need to keep in mind the budget of the film. The movie's estimated budget ended up around $270 million, and the difference between that number and the final box office number of $391 million wasn't great enough to warrant a sequel. If you think that maybe sounds a little ridiculous, then you're not alone. After being asked about this exact thing, Bryan Singer went on to state his opinion rather straightforward. Okay. Superman Returns made $400 million. I don't know what constitutes underperforming these days. Bryan Singer didn't seem to agree with executives on this one, and his disagreements eventually led to the final big reason why the sequel never happened. Bryan
made $400 million, though, from his perspective is probably a different sentence, because he very well knows it didn't make $400 million. That is not the profit. What I would like to hear is the profit.
Singer's disinterest. Filming for the Superman Returns sequel was supposed to start in 2007 for a 2009 release, but Bryan Singer halted all development so he could direct Valkyrie with Tom Cruise.
Is that when they got him?
Worry on Warner Brothers and the 2009 release date. It was practically guaranteed to be delayed, but it was still possible for the original release date. After this, the two writers for Superman Returns, Michael Dougherty and Dan Harris, decided to leave the project. With no writers, the Writers Guild of America strike could not have come at a worse time. This pushed the release date to 2010. Things were looking bleak for the Superman Returns sequel, and it was only going to get worse.
Okay, here's what I want to know, guys. Do you think that Superman Returns could have started off a good Superman trilogy or whatever that would have ended up making a lot of money? It made about the same amount of money and had about the same ratings as Batman Begins, which we all know went on to do very well. Do you think Superman Returns had that potential? Put it in the comments. I really want to know this, because I don't know for sure, but I know that if they built on the right things, it was possible. So I want to know from you if it was possible, or if it was like, no, the way they were going with this, it wasn't in the stars.
Brandon Routh's contract for playing Superman was set to expire in 2009. If they didn't get filming started soon, they would lose their main star. After all of this drama and confusion, Warner Brothers decided they wanted to reboot Superman for a new cinematic universe.
How pissed do you think Superman is?
A lot.
He is a lot pissed.
After this, Bryan Singer...
Was that a deleted scene? I don't remember that.
...decided he was done with Superman. He was offered to direct the new Man of Steel film, but declined in favor of directing Jack the Giant Slayer. Remember when that came out? Yeah, I don't either.
Man.
Now that we know why the sequel never came out, we can get into the leaked synopsis for the
Well,
movie.
I never knew that there was other movies that may have contributed to why they didn't want to take any more risk on it.
Although I do need to preface something before we get into it. This is a leaked synopsis of the film. We have no guarantees as to whether or not this is real. Many different people say they know it's fake, while others say they know it's real.
I really thought there was a script out there, guys, a legit script. Am I wrong? Was there not a script written? He said the Writers Guild, when they went on strike, that they weren't able... I don't claim to have a fantastic memory.
It's impossible to tell unless someone official like Bryan Singer comes out and either confirms it or denies it. And so far, I can't find anything confirmed or denied from an official source.
Even in 480p.
So take it with a grain of salt. But with that prefaced, let's get into what the original Man of Steel would have looked like. If you don't remember much from Superman
was it supposed to be called Man of Steel? The sequel?
Returns, don't worry, there's only two things you really need to know. One was that Superman has always wondered if he was truly the last son of Krypton. For some reason, he has always doubted that he was the last. And the second thing you need to know is how Lex...
That's how it starts in Superman Returns. We already know that.
Luthor created New Krypton. Lex created this new planet with crystals he stole from the Fortress of Solitude, and Kryptonite that Superman launched into space that nearly killed him.
And Lex wasn't killed or dead or anything like that. He was on that island, so there's more story there.
So in Man of Steel, New Krypton continues to grow in space and has become an almost perfect sphere. It's now almost the size of a small moon. Man of Steel begins just a few years after the events of Superman Returns. Superman is doing what he does best while Lois Lane is raising their child, Jason. The world is getting used to having Superman back in play. But out in space, New Krypton has brought some unexpected attention from a galaxy far, far away. And no, it's not the classic Star Wars characters, Luke, Leia, Jango Fett's Umbrella, faceless C-3PO, headless R2-D2, or even crispy Anakin.
Oh, I hate you.
After seeing New Krypton, a massive spaceship arrives in Earth's orbit. Superman flies to meet the new spaceship, and we are introduced to our out-of-this-world visitor. Superman quickly finds out that our visitor is also a Kryptonian survivor who has been traveling the known galaxies and was able to detect Kryptonian technology thanks to New Krypton. Now, Superman has finally found a Kryptonian buddy and starts showing him around the planet. A planet full of problems, diseases, famine, crime, and nations at war with each other. Our new Kryptonian friend asks Superman why. With all of this power, is he not changing the world for the better? Why is he not getting rid of famine, disease,
Really curious who this Kryptonian dude is.
and war? Of course, fans know that Superman has always been told not to interfere with Earth's development. Superman explains that he's not allowed to interfere, but his new Kryptonian buddy tells him that their powers are required to interfere.
The Christopher Reeve version, which is this based off of, does indeed state that. So that makes sense. It's just a weird to me.
Superman disagrees. Our new crypto buddy decides to take charge and starts interfering from day one. One of the first things that he does is get involved in a political mess that is heating up between two third world nations. War breaks out between these two nations, but before any real battle breaks out, our crypto buddy interferes and lays waste to these two armies. He declares to the world that he will not allow any more wars and or destruction of the planet. He is declaring a war-free planet, and for those who disagree, he will have to deal with them himself. The major nations of the planet applaud his actions and all agree to an immediate worldwide peace.
Till he's controlling them.
In return, he promises to share technology, fight hunger,
That's why that dictator thing never really works.
famine, and disease. The population of the world rejoices, and any small pockets of resistance is quickly squashed by our new Kryptonian buddy and even the world governments. Superman starts getting a bit suspicious of our new crypto buddy and decides to go talk to him. He goes to his spaceship and has a revelation. This massive ship is full of hundreds, if not thousands, of identical bodies aboard. Yep, clones of our crypto buddy. So Superman digs a bit more inside the computer system, which is familiar to him since it's Kryptonian technology, just like the Fortress of Solitude. Superman finds out that our
Makes
crypto
sense.
buddy is actually an artificial intelligence from Krypton that has evolved
Okay.
since the destruction of their world.
I thought that Brainiac was involved. I didn't. That's a cool
He escaped
twist.
Krypton just like Kal-El did, and his real name is Brainiac. He's been going from planet to planet, taking
Such a
their
good
technology, helping these worlds reach a relative perfection, and then he destroys them and moves on.
If somebody made a movie and based it off of this, we would have a good movie. We just would. We would have a great movie if they based it off of that. That would be really cool. Did I make my background fuzzy? I don't know. Let me see. Get it back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, good. It might not have been fuzzy. I couldn't tell. But I like the Superman Brainiac storyline so much and the way they did it. I love how it runs into the new Krypton story. That would be cool to see in the
Superman
film.
also finds out that Brainiac was actually responsible for the destruction of Krypton and tries to warn the leaders of the world, but is confronted by Brainiac.
That's a cool
A
story,
massive
guys.
battle ensues, and Superman is about to
Okay, so my earlier question, do you think it's possible that Superman could have ended up being as big as like The Dark Knight? Because they had similar, how much people liked it. They had similar, how much it made. I feel like with this could be a good story.
defeat Brainiac, but Brainiac downloads his conscious into another one of his clones. Superman realizes that he must destroy this massive ship along with all of the clones aboard.
Yeah.
After another massive battle, he is able to disable the ship, destroy the clones, and the new Brainiac, but right before the ship is destroyed, the new Brainiac mainframe does a local search for another body that he can download into. It has to be Kryptonian, and he finds one other Kryptonian on Earth, Superman's child, Jason. So, Brainiac uses Kryptonian technology and downloads himself into Jason's body. This causes Jason to automatically
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
age and grow into a full adult, but with Brainiac in complete control.
Wait, what did he say?
Age and grow into loads himself into Jason's body. This causes Jason to automatically age and grow into a full adult, but with Brainiac in complete control.
horrible. Horrible. That is bad. Like, I don't mean it's a bad story idea, but it would be hard for me to watch. Your kid grows up before your eyes and he's evil and in under control. This is starting to get a little twisted.
Superman realizes what just happened and rushes to confront his very own son, who is now possessed by Brainiac. Is Jason still there, or is it all Brainiac? At this point, it's all Brainiac, and Superman knows exactly what he has to do. He must defeat Brainiac at all costs, or the planet and all of humankind will be doomed. It's a battle between two gods, but Superman has already been run ragged and beat down pretty bad in his previous battles. Brainiac has the upper hand, and Superman is trying
We saw that in 2025.
not to do any permanent damage to Jason's body. Every time Brainiac was defeated in the past, he simply tries to download to another clone and leaves that body completely brain dead, with no other bodies left.
This is similar to the Superman 5 that was never made. I watched the script reading on that one, and he downloads himself into a body in that as well.
So will Jason survive? The answer is no. Superman realizes he needs to kill Jason to fully rid the galaxy of Brainiac, so he does what he has to do. He sacrifices his son to save humanity. And thus ends the story of the original Man of Steel. Now,
Wow, that's
remember,
crazy,
this is just a
guys.
rumored synopsis that has gone around for years, so take it lightly. But yeah, Superman kills his own son at the end of the movie. No joke. And I mean,
I was thinking, yeah, there's hope. Killing his own son, that's going to end up making a dark Superman, thing. I don't know. I don't think that would have flew as well.
it's certainly weird, and I don't want to jump the gun to say the movie would be bad, but it would probably be bad. I mean, Brainiac's plot of saving the humans from stuff that Superman wouldn't is definitely interesting, but why would you want to help them thrive as a civilization and then steal their technology? Why didn't Brainiac just go to planets, take their technology, and then blow them up? Just skipping the whole help them thrive plan. Also, what kind of technology does Earth have that Brainiac would even want? Compared to Krypton, Earth has nothing of interest.
Well, what he wants is knowledge. We all know that from the comics. It's not about like, oh, Earth has great resources, or oh, they're so much more advanced than me. He wants the knowledge, and he wants it for himself. After he gets the knowledge, he destroys it. That's his trophy. He's the only one that knows. That's you can argue as that being a stupid reason, but that is the reason that Brainiac does what he does.
Maybe Brainiac wanted our amazing human inventions, like the walking sleeping bag, or the shoe umbrella, or maybe the privacy scarf. Okay, now that I think about it, I see why he wanted our inventions. But I think it's definitely for the best that this sequel wasn't made. The Man of Steel we got was pretty good. Not bad and not groundbreaking, but overall good.
I like
so having this movie out instead would completely change the DCEU as we know it.
Oh, yeah,
I guess
for
it's
sure.
not called the DCU anymore.
It wouldn't have gone that route because it would have been based on that Batman and that Superman. It wouldn't have gone that route.
What's it called now? I don't know. Who cares? I'm gonna go buy the walking sleeping bag.
Nice. Guys, that was a pretty good video. I really like, send me more of these, like, never happened type stuff. Because I really enjoy that kind of thing. I'm a big Elseworlds guy. I love Elseworlds stories just for, fun's sake, not for canon. And whenever we get ones like this, that's how I can consider it. Let me know if you think that would have been a movie that would have done well, or if you think that would have been a movie that would have done bad. I think it would have done well up until the point that he kills his son. That sounds like something that would have had a lot of people reeling and not really enjoying the next one. Don't forget to check out my Superman store where you can get all Superman stuff in one place just for you. And remember, guys, like Superman, live humbly, do good.